we've got 4 bank straps here, $400 in ones. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'll end up doing here is I'm gonna fast forward through all the stacks I'm going through. At the end of each stack, I'll kind of recap if I found anything cool. And then at the very end of the video, I can recap things again. And hopefully there's some star notes. And then I can recap on the rarity on those. Okay, we made it through the first stack and there's unfortunately no star notes. Nothing overly crazy that I pulled out, but here are some of the things I did pull out. We'll go through this. For example, I got 2 of these scattered ladders. So the number here, it's comprised of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've talked about this before, where if they are more in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, that definitely to me is more collectible. These, however, can be collectible. Just really depends upon what you're looking for. Sometimes I hold on to them, just depending upon the combination. The condition of the bill. These 2 are kind of beat up, these bills. And I mean, the combination's nothing overly crazy. This one does have a forward run of 3. So it's got 3, 4, 5. Maybe if you get into like a run of 5 or more, then it starts to become, you know, more scarce to find those. I've run into these often, so nothing too crazy here. Moving on, wanted to point out the 2 4s on the beginning and the end of the serial number. Those are referred to as bookends. I would say if it were 3 digits, if it were 443 and then 443 again on the end, then that would be a little bit more collectible. Only having a 2-digit bookend, it's more common, of course. So these I don't really hold on to unless they're 3-digit. So I'm not gonna hold on to this one. So moving on to this one, obviously you can see right off the bat, the 9 is stuck up pretty high. I run into the gas pump. This is referred to as a gas pump or an odometer or stuck digit error. I run into these quite a bit. So what I look out for if I'm gonna set them aside is the severity of the offset here. This one is pretty noticeable, so I will probably set this aside. The bill's in, I mean, definitely circulated condition. It has folds and creases. It's not terrible. So I always look to, for a better bill to replace what I have. And if I find it, then I replace them. But for now, I'll set this one aside for myself and we'll move on to the next example of what I found. The triple numbers, the 6s, and then the pair of zeros. This, I probably, maybe out of every stack of 100, I'm sure I run into this once or twice. Maybe not exactly on that average. It might take a couple 100 and then I'll run into one, but somewhere in that range. So they're not overly rare, but they can be collectible. If you start getting into where maybe it's 2 pairs in a triple, that of course is going to be more collectible. These I don't myself tend to hold on to them. If I held on to all these different combinations of bills, I would just have no room for everything. So I gotta draw the limit somewhere. So I'll just keep moving on here on what I set aside to show what I found. This one, I don't know if you could see it in the camera, but both serial numbers, there's a coloring difference. This upper one is a lighter shade of green, and this is a more dark, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up that well. I've seen this before. Usually it's not as dark of a green that I've seen. It's usually this color of a green and then a lighter shade of green. So, you know, I really don't know how common these are to come by. I will hold on to it for now. And again, like I said before, if I find something better that replaces it, I'll replace it, but I probably won't, you know, hold on to a whole bunch of them if I end up coming across them, because that's just going to mean that they're really not that rare. So these last two things that I pulled out, on this one, I noticed there's a green ink mark way up on top here. I thought that was pretty cool. So I will definitely hold on to this one. And then last but not least, we have a birthday note. So we've got August 24th, 1924. So birthday notes are cool. I typically hold on to birthday notes. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. So even though we didn't find any star notes, not a big deal. We have $300 more to go through, so we'll continue on and start going through the stack. And I will fast forward through the stack here and then stop it at the end of the stack and go through what I found again. Okay, we got through the second stack of $1 bills, and I guess I'll start off with, I did find a star note, which is pretty awesome. That's what we're looking for. So what we'll do is at the end of the video, I'm going to, hopefully I find some more star notes, and then what I'll end up doing is looking up the run size to see just exactly how rare of a star note it might be. So cool, we'll set that one aside. A few other things I grabbed. I guess we'll start with these. Both of these bills, triple pairs, which again, to some people, this is collectible. You know, I have held on to them before. At the moment, I'm not going on my way to collect them, but I just wanted to point them out that they can be collectible for sure. And then here's another scattered ladder. The numbers are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, that could be, you know, cool to some who collect those. And then I pulled out some of the gas pump. You can see that the 6 is sitting high. Let's see, on this one, it looks like the 2 is sitting a little bit low. The 9 is sitting low. On the lower serial number, you've got the 3 sitting high. Let's see, what about this one? Oh, it's this lower serial number. The 6 is pushed up. And it looks like we're back at the beginning with that high 6. And then the last one I pulled out here, pretty cool. It's a 4 in a row 4, and it's got a pair. So that's cool. Anytime I get 4 or more in a row of a number, I hold on to them. I do collect these. So for me, this is pretty cool. And the fact it's got a pair as well, which makes it a little bit more cool. So anyway, that's the second stack, and we're gonna go ahead and move this stuff to the side, grab the third stack, and go through that one. I'll fast forward through this part of it and I'll stop at the end and we'll go through what I found. Okay, we've made it through that third stack of ones, and here's what I pulled out. This is cool. I found 2 star notes in that third stack. So we'll go ahead and look at these at the end of the video, along with that first star note that I found, to check the run sizes on those to see how rare they are. And a few more things I pulled out, just a couple more examples of gas pump errors. You've got that high 8 on the low serial number. You've got, not as noticeable, but you've got a low 8 there on the upper serial number, and then on this last one, a high 8. And let's see, what else did I pull out? This was interesting. Not quite an error. I guess it's probably still within the parameters, but you can see how this 12, the district number, is almost out of the white area, just barely. I was comparing it to some other ones as I was going through them, and it's definitely shifted over. I haven't seen any this far shifted over just quite yet. So I will hold on to it. You can see too on this side that it's really close to the signature. I will definitely hold on to this one. I think it's cool. Moving on. What do we got here? Oh, here's another example of a scattered broken ladder. It's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the numbers. And I have a trinary where there's only 3 unique numbers, 601. And then I have a 4 in a row 0. So like I had mentioned before, I set aside the bills that have the serial numbers with 4 or more digits in a row that are the same. I think they're cool. So we'll go ahead and set this one aside. So that means now we are on to our 4th and final stack of ones. So I'm just gonna move this stuff out of the way. Get that last stack in here and go through it. And at the end, we'll see what we find. Okay, we got through that last stack of ones for a total of $400, and the last stack was a little underwhelming. No star notes. The few things I did pull out, I'll just go through right now. With these aren't like a real big deal, but they're slightly miscut. You can see the border. The bottom and top are definitely different. And then on this one, kind of the same scenario. The bottom is more narrow than the top. These aren't like overly off-centered. I've seen much worse. These are still within the parameters of when they print them and cut them. If this were more something where the bill was actually shifted off where there was no border, then that would be more of an error and something to collect. And for that matter, if the border was actually even more narrow, the more narrow it is, I guess the more collectible you could look at it to be. So I just wanted to point those out. I'm not gonna hold on to these because they're not severe enough to really be considered like miscut for me. The next one here is another scattered broken ladder, 0, 1, 2, 3. This one's, kind of kind of cool with the low numbers, but the problem is it's got a mark here and on the back, big old mark. So I'm probably not gonna hold on to this one. Let's see, what do we got with these here? Oh, 2 trinary. So 3 unique digits in the serial number on this one, and again on this one. And then this one, we haven't run into this one, or I should say a serial number like this through the whole $400. Came across one, it's a flipper note, so you can flip it upside down, and it's 609000869. And then you can read it right side up. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. Sometimes, you know, these are collectible as well to people. And so now what we'll do is we'll recap those 3 star notes, and we'll see what the rarity is on their run size. Okay, we're back here with these 3 star notes. We're gonna look up the run size and the total printed just to see how rare they are. We'll go ahead and we'll start with this 2017, and I've already got them pre-typed here, ready to go. So we've got, this one had a run size 3.2 million, total printed 3.2 million. Let's see, it just had the 1 run. Yeah, 3.2 million, and it's showing that it's on the less rare side, so, oh well, still cool. Let's move on to the next one here. Let's see, we've got this 2013 ending in 4583. Let's see, there we go, we got it pulled up. Again, run size of 3.2 million, total printed. 250,000 more than last one there, 3.45 million. It's on the less rare side, once again. It's in run number 1. Run number 2, that was the one that was the 250,000. That would have been a cool one to grab. But nonetheless, still cool to have that star note. So we'll go on to this last one here. Another 2013 ending in 3299. And there we go, we got it pulled up. Another one with a run size of 3.2 million, but this one has a bunch more printed, 22.65 million, and definitely on the less rare side here. What else do we have? Had a bunch of runs. Oh, and this one was in the very last run. So anyways, all 3 star notes on the less rare side, but still very cool to find. I will still throw them in my collection. All right, guys, thanks for watching.